Hi, I'm Mrs. Martinez. I am your child's seventh grade world history teacher. Welcome to the 2021 school year for this trimester. So you can see here, this is my little Bitmoji classroom, and I have a skeleton in my classroom if we were back in class because I also teach forensics with my daughter. So a little bit about myself. I have been teaching for 29 years. I have been at Thurston for 17. I'm originally from Pasadena, but we moved to Texas when I was a child. We came back 17 years ago. I've only taught at Thurston, and I absolutely love it. I have a Bachelor's of Arts degree in history, a Master's in Education and Administration, and I just love history. I still love teaching in the classroom. This is where my heart's desire is. My job is to absolutely teach your child to love history. My job is to teach your child. So just a little bit about my family. You can see them right here. I've been married for 35 years. I have three amazing children who all graduated from Laguna Beach High School. My oldest son is a pharmacist in Atlanta. All three of them went to Baylor. My daughter is teaches with me forensics. She's always known by the students as Lady Noel, and she just finished her master's in criminal investigation, now trying to get into forensics, specifically with the police department. And then I have my amazing son, my youngest son, who is living in Houston, working in film and editing. I have three amazing, beautiful dogs who we just absolutely cherish. In regards to my classroom, you'll now know that we have a new learning management system called Canvas, no longer School Power. And I have that here. So this is like my homepage. And then I have a link for Aries and our textbooks. The students, which you'll see in a second, are creating their own digital notebooks. I go through it with them in class every day, but we're using the curriculum from the textbook. So our textbook is Nat Geo. It's a beautiful book. Sometimes because there's so much content in world history and I'm trying to navigate just our essential learning outcomes, I've incorporated everything into like a 2-week pattern. So the information that they're using for their digital notebook is absolutely coming from this textbook, though you might not be seeing them use it specifically. If I click on this and I go to Canvas, it'll take me right to my home page, which is this page right here. So when a student logs on, you can see that here is modules, which is what we now call the lessons. This is a quick link for Aries if they want to check their grades. And this is the button that they would choose in order to log on to Zoom every morning from 9 to 11. You also can navigate through the side panel right here. So I'm going to click on modules so you can kind of see the format. So you can see that it looks quite different than School Power did, but the modules are by units. So unit 1, and then this is the entire unit 1 of Rome that we did. We are currently on unit 2 in the rise of Islam, and you can see that I have an agenda posted every day. Every day there's an agenda. If they click on it, or you can see what we've done. This is what we did in class. These are the slides that we worked on, 2 to 6. And I actually have the notes all placed here in case there is a student that missed the assignment. They can always go back to get the information. On each unit, it's categorized by agenda. Here they are. Assignments. So this is their first assignment. And then I also provide the answers. So as we're going through types of notebook, like we finished Rome. So here were the assignments we all did in Rome. Here are the answers to my warm-ups every day. And then my notebook, in case they missed any information, they can go back and fill that in. We also work on a website, and here are my instructions. And here is where they would put their assignment in. And then here are my PowerPoints that I go through of all the information for each unit. So it's basically agenda, their assignments, and then the answers. And it will follow this format each and every time. If you go to, and they tell you that they're absent, all they have to do is go to my agenda for whatever section we're in, and all the information is labeled there. They also, which you're starting to see some kids still trying to navigate, is that they upload their assignments in here so that we can readily grade them. Aries is finally being connected and linked. So you'll see that if you go click here to Aries, that will give you, sorry, if we click here on this link, it'll take you to Aries and you can see their quick grades here too. So this isn't not necessarily linked at this point. They're still having issues, but it eventually will. But what I want to have you see on this part is attendance, because this is new. So as we're teaching students attendance, you can see that they have, not only are they absent for A, but they also have these three numbers, 1, 2, and 3. And 3 means that they're in class, but they're not engaged. 2 means they're in class and they're partially engaged. And 1 is that they are in class and they're absolutely engaged, which every student this trimester is absolutely engaged and participating. So that is new for grading, and it's a method of having accountability for the students. Because it is a long time period for 2 hours, I give lots of, they have a break every day for 10 minutes. And just so that you understand that even though they're sitting in class for 2 hours, doesn't mean that they're not naturally engaged in 2-hour work. And that's what we're kind of seeing. So if you could help to navigate and ask your child what work they did, that would be great, because every day we do warm-ups and every day we do a notebook. So you can always see that. If I also show you their dashboard, which is their Google Drive, I can see their Google Drive for every student, and this is where I place their work. So if I say to a student, I need to see your work, I can come in here and see every student's work that they need to for all classes. And that's what you see here. And that helps for me to see whether they're engaged or not as we move forward. So I'm going to come back, and you can see here, our yearly essential learning outcome is, how did distant regions of the world become more interconnected? And of course, the main answer is always trade, especially in world history. They're constantly trading as we are moving from continent to continent, or country to country, or one civilization to the next. As we now are navigating in distance learning, I have talked to the kids about their attendance expectations, that they should be on time to class, that they should raise their hand. I also have them talk to me through the chat, or just to break the screen and they can talk to me explicitly if they have a question. I have no problem with that. They should not ever turn their camera off. Their camera should always be on. They should always be in a place that is conducive for learning. I know sometimes that's hard, but I tell them sometimes, like, don't be lying down. You get too comfortable. Be kind of sitting up. Be in a place where you're not distracted. I have seen some distractions of kids talking to other people and stuff, and I'll have a discussion with them that they need to be in a room where they're just focusing and maybe not a lot of interruptions. And if they have to leave the Zoom for any time period, they always are now chatting to me. They tell me, they email me. We all understand that there are lots of Wi-Fi issues. We're always trying to work that out as best that we can, and to have a great place to set up and do their work. And if they have Wi-Fi issues, they always tell me, and we work around it to accommodate them. We have on our front page, you've seen these Thurston School distance learning norms. So on our attendance, if the academic, because right now for the 2 hours we're synchronous, meaning we're teaching them, there are times that they go into breakout rooms and they can work independently. That would be asynchronous. They're not working with me directly given instruction. And their self-care norms, if they have to go to the bathroom, they'll let me know, they'll raise their hand, which is why I also give them breaks in between. The Zoom norms, they know that the camera has to be on at all times, or they don't get that engagement part of the attendance. If they're having technical difficulties, they can always let me know. And you just can see all the other devices. They shouldn't have a cell phone. They shouldn't be distracted or having any other guests or appearances or people talking to them. I also go on and I explain to the students their online classroom Zoom norms, rules and expectations. Get ready, make sure that you are available, take care of any needs. You can absolutely have water by your desk. That's perfectly okay. For the first trimester, we have a 12-week period. There's one unit every 2 weeks. So we are coming to finish week 4, and so this notebook, their assignment for Islam, is due on Friday. Everything that you saw in the module, everything, if you go back to my modules, is due on Friday. Their notebook is due on Friday. Their warm-ups for the last 2 weeks are on Friday. And so everything follows a unit. Warm-ups for two weeks were on Rome. Warm-ups for 2 weeks were on Islam. We're going to go to the next section, Africa and Asia. That'll be the warm-ups on those. Every 2 weeks, everything is due. Their warm-ups are due. Their notebook is due every 2 weeks. And on every Friday, every 2 weeks, they'll take a test. I also give them study guides. We go over them in class as well. Then you can see my digital classroom instruction. Their notebook is 40% of their grade. Their tests are 30% of their grade. And class participation, that they're doing the work, that they're engaged. What's the difference between classwork versus homework? So I do not give any homework. My job as a teacher is to teach your child. I want them to love history. I don't need you with all the stuff that's going on right now. I can take one thing off your plate. You are not going to be teaching your child. That is my job. So I don't give homework. What is homework is whatever's not finished in class. But they should have no problem with that because we were working on it. We have started it. We were engaged in it, and they just need to complete it. I do take late work, but I don't allow a student not to turn in work. So if they decide they're not going to do that assignment, that's not how I run my classroom. Before every class begins, I go over my gradebook to make sure that every mark is checked. If a student has not completed an assignment, I will let them know, and that is now going to go into late work. So every day an assignment is not turned in, it's 10 points, but I will have them do the assignment. So they have all up to the 12 weeks, but the highest grade they can get is a 50%. In regards to tests, if they don't get a 70 or above, then they can retake that as well. And if they're absent, of course, they can email me to get the information. I also have hours in the morning from 8 to 9 every day except for Fridays. And they can email me and I can meet them on at 8 o'clock for tutoring sessions. If they need help with work, if they were absent, that's when I can meet with them. And then I can bring up my notebook and they can get caught up that way. I'll send them an email or they can email me for extra help. We also have attendance and participation, which I went over, and you can see I put it here. So they're present but not doing work, not participating. So that's with modifications. And then they are participating with partially, or they are totally engaged is what we're trying to get. The engagement, partially, not participating. Our goal is every day to have them participating. They'll get a 10-minute break, and the first session is from 9 to 11. And then you can see here our digital classroom rules, always to solve your own problems. Ask me, ask somebody else in the chat room, ask for help. We want to make great decisions. We want to make sure that Zooming is appropriate and that we are all adhering to the same rules to make a very safe environment while we're at home through this new format of teaching. We also tell the kids to silence their cell phones. I don't want to see them on that, especially when we're taking tests. One way to help monitor them is to have the students constantly, I'm watching them, they're looking at, I don't want to see them looking down or anything. They should just be focusing on the screen when I see them so that I can make sure that they're following along. And then, of course, this is our world history course content. So the first unit we've completed, the fall of Rome. We are going to complete this Friday, the rise of Islam. We will continue on to the empires of Africa and Asia. Then we'll do medieval Europe and Renaissance, Reformation, Revolution, and end on the last 12 weeks with European expansion. So thank you for watching and listening. If you have any questions whatsoever, just email me at mmartinez. There's another Martinez at El Moro, but I am M. Martinez, M&M. And so if you have any questions, just feel free to email me. We can Zoom. If you have any specific questions, I'm here to help you to navigate this new trying way of educating. I'm here to help you leave your anxiety, any questions you have, and I'm here to help your child to be successful, to navigate this new world that we're in, to help them to not feel stressed, and most importantly, to help them to love history as much as I do. Thank you for listening and watching, and have a great day.